Evening folks, welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you, it always is. I hope you're doing well. We move into day 4 over in Germany and in London. As always, we're going to go through each and every one of these matches, see if there's anything we like the look of as we go along. Be sure to get your predictions in the comments, best bets, all that stuff. If there's anything I'm going for personally, that will be in that pinned comment. Make sure you're looking at that. Right then, before we get started, like the video, if you would, get yourself subscribed to the channel if you're not already. I'd appreciate that. Very, very close to that 1.7k. If we can hit that before the end of the tournament, you know me, I'll be more than grateful with that. But right then, very well folks. How did we get on yesterday? I'll go first. Jack Draper squad. It was anything but easy for me. Anyway, I had Jack Draper and Auger on a nice little double. I'd say they made me work for it, but I got the result that I deserved in the end. That was for us. We all deserved that one, providing you took it, of course. But do let me know in the comments. Share your thoughts. Share with the group. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you just come close? Most importantly, did you enjoy the games? You know, I think that's the most important thing, is it not? But okay then. Alright then, people. Head on over to Germany. We'll start off once again over in Germany and then we'll finish off over in Queens. So let's get it on. First off for us, Felix, Auger Aliassime and Khachanov. Decent. Should be a decent one, this. Quite looking forward to watching this. If I'm being honest with you, head to head is 2-1 to Felix in this matchup. Last time out was actually in Den Bosch, 2022, tiebreaker in the first, 6-4 in the second, and then you're going back a year before that, he was a win on the hard court for Felix, and then 2019 for Khachanov, both the hard court ones going 3 sets, very tightly contested indeed, and obviously the one on the grass, you probably could say was the most convincing. I do think Felix probably has a better go against Khachanov on the grass, but I don't know, man. Look, I knew he was going to beat Laslo Djere. We all knew that. Probably a little bit closer than what we would have liked. I don't know what was going on exactly, but he dropped the set. He had a medical timeout. All that stuff. How is he going to look in this one against Khachanov? He is slightly favoured to get it done against the Russian. I probably would expect him to. Like I've just said, I feel like out of all the safes, he probably has a better chance against Khachanov on the grass as opposed to the hard court anyway. But I do think Khachanov looked decent against Zizou Bergs. He managed to take advantage of that. He kind of had to win. Well, I don't mean had to, but Zizou Bergs, giving him the chance, probably could have just eked his way through that one. Coming off that run in the tournament prior to this one, I didn't really expect him to win, and he didn't. But good shit from Khachanov. He played solid. Last time he was here, it was 2022, we did get to the quarterfinals. Probably doesn't mean much, to be honest with you. Especially today anyway. 2-1 on the grass this year, 1-3 last year, and didn't play on it the year before. He tends to do alright. But what's alright when it comes to the grass, like 5-3, 5-4? If you would consider that to be alright, then yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just alright. Same goes for Felix though, does it not? I mean, 3-1 this year, he's been decent on it. 2-2 last year, 1-2 the year before that, then 5-5, 10-3 in 2021. I don't know. Could be danger. Could be a little bit of danger on the road ahead for Felix in this one. Khachanov's no joke. I always say, don't I, the tournaments where no one's talking about him, he tends to excel. He tends to thrive when he's a little bit of a sleeper. We know how good he is, but I think I speak for all of us when I say it's been quite some time since I've seen a prime version of Khachanov. I probably would go with Felix today, just as a lean. You know, I probably wouldn't take him for a set. If you want to play it super safe, I can't see Khachanov beating him 1-2 and done. I would be quite shocked if he was to pull that off, but you should get good enough odds if you want a nice little parlay piece, a little sweetener. Take Felix for a set. But then again, I don't mind Khachanov for a set either. You pick your poison, you pay your money, and you take your choice. I quite like Felix in this one though. I do. Don't over-trust him 100%. I never trust anyone 100% really, but even more so with this guy. Slight lean, the slightest of leans. Very close on the odds, somewhat split down the middle. Like I say, slightly favoured to get it done, only slightly. Approach it with severe caution. And we shall move on. Up the card, who we got? Got El Shapo and Flavio Cobolli. Looking forward to this one too. We've got some really good matches in store for us once again. I've been enjoying this week anyway. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying the matches, regardless of the results of your bets. You know, we've still had some really good tennis, you can't deny that. But El Shapo, Flavio Cobolli, these have never played each other before. Now we're getting El Shapo around 1.6. Quite a decent favourite. I don't mind Flavio Cobolli in this one. I don't. You know, shout out to Shapo getting past Ugo Humbert. I say quite impressed, but you know, I don't know whether you watched the match, but it really could have went either way. It is just one of them matchups. The head-to-head's quite tight anyway. Well, it was before that one. It looked like he was going to win, then it looked like he was going to lose, then win, then lose again, and then he managed to win. Decent result, nonetheless. Quite the contrast in trajectories for these pair. I mean, I think El Shapo, I know El Shapo started off really promising, kind of the same way he finished last season off. He looked really good to start the year on the hard court where he came onto the clay, and then this guy just fell off a cliff, to say the least. Is he going to pick it back up on the grass? I'm not too sure. He's went 1-1 already. He did have an absolute stinker against Rinderknech. Maybe that's what's putting me off, but I don't know about you. I can't remember the last time El Shapo won back-to-back games. It's got to be a couple of months. Fact. How's he going to get on against Flavio Cobolli, this guy? I mean, as opposed to him, he started off quite bad, but then we came onto the clay. Most definitely found what he was looking for over there. 2 titles to his name, like we mentioned. One in Hamburg not that long ago. Fairly decent in the French Open until he bumped into Zverev. And then he put on a really good performance against Joao Fonseca. That was just a good match. You know, fair play to the pair of them. There's no shame in losing a game like that. Flavio Cobolli did come out victorious in the end. He's good, man. He's deceivingly good. 2.5, it's not a bad shout, you know. It's not. Would you be surprised to see El Shapo just crap this one away and lose? Probably not, right? I don't know. You know me, I'm a massive El Shapo fan, probably bigger than the majority, but I couldn't back him in this one. I couldn't back him to get this one done, although he did kind of pull off the upset against Ugo Humbert. Was he a dog in that? He was, wasn't he? What was the price on that? Let me just check. 2.4, so the odds were pretty much reversed from what they are today in this one. I don't mind Flavio Cobolli. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Take him for a set. Can you see El Shapo coming out, holding his nerve and holding his serve, and just doing him 1-2 and done? Maybe. He's good enough to do that, but I've seen nothing in the past couple months, like pretty much going back to March, to suggest El Shapo is just going to snap into form all of a sudden and start blowing people off the court, especially with the form that the Italians in. So it would have to be Flavio Cobolli or not, and it's not a bad price, 2.5. I say, let me know what you're doing on that one, and we'll move on to Andrei Rublev and Etcheverry. It's got to be Rublev, right? It's got to be Rublev in this one, man. I mean, whether you take him or not is entirely up to you. 1.3 is the price you're going to have to pay today. Played each other once before. That was last year over in Canada. Straight set for Rublev on the hard court. Tiebreaker in the first, 6-2 in the second. Etcheverry's another one. He can play deceivingly well. He can turn up and play a lot better than what you'd expect him to on the day. Ultimately, on the grass, on the serve, this has got to be for Rublev. It has. With it being the quicker court, you know, Etcheverry tends to thrive more on the clay. That's no secret. Slower conditions. These, I don't know whether you've noticed, but you most definitely have. These grass courts, these are amongst the quickest. These are some of the quickest you're getting on the tour. It has to be Rublev. It has to be. I thought Sebastianovna could have posed a little bit of a threat, and I think we all did. We all agreed the same on that one. Sebastianovna's been playing good. Rublev just dusted him aside like it was nothing. Fairly easy. He played really well. Someone even said in the comments, you know who you are. It was just brilliant to watch him play like that, because it's exactly how we know he can. Top 10 level, no doubt. Against Etcheverry on the grass, 1.3. Look, it's steep, I know. It is steep. I can't see Rublev getting beat. I know we say the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to harp on about it once more, because what I've seen against Offner was more than enough to suggest that he's going to get past the Argentine today. We know we can be a bit shaky. We know doing business with this guy has proven to be somewhat dicey in the past. Even this season, last season, it happens. We know. We're all aware of the dangers of doing business with Andrei Rublev. Reality is, this would be a stinker, would it not? I'm not wrong in assuming that this would be an absolute stinker. I think this is one of them matches where the sky would have to fall in order for Rublev to lose this. Not on the grass, not against Etcheverry, and it's not impersonal. There's just levels, sheer levels, and I've seen enough against Sebastianovna. Etcheverry got it done against Pedro Martinez, straight sets. I kind of expected it. Pedro Martinez, nah. No. Andrei Rublev, yes. Every day of the week, 1.3, you take it if you want. If not, don't worry about it. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to. And then we've got Fabian Marozsan and Thomas Machac. I'll be going with Thomas Machac in this one, I think. Would I? Am I completely sold on Thomas Machac in this? Kind of. A little bit. You know me, I'm quite a big fan of Thomas Machac. And he's most definitely came on over the past season or two. 23 in the world. Fabian Marozsan, 58. We know he can be good on the day too. I think he tends to do more of his business on the clay as opposed to anything else. Yeah, of course he does. Excuse me. Just as I say that, last season weren't exactly his best showing on the clay, 6 and 9. But everything else before that, he's been flying. Probably a few challenger ones in there, but that's neither here nor there. We're on the grass. 1 and 4 last year, 2 and 2 for Fabian Marozsan. I haven't seen that much from Thomas Machac either. With that being said, 1 and 2 last year, 3 and 1 before that. Kinda just gambling on the unknown, and kinda just going with what I already know in a matchup like this. I think Thomas Machac is just better. I think on the day when he's fit, when he's not hampered, when he's not going to pull out, when he's not looking like shit, he can just turn up, serve bullets, and just blast people off the court with that forehand. These quick courts most definitely suit Thomas Machac as opposed to his opponents in this one. Look, that's not like it's not clear cut at all. I think I'm probably making it sound a lot more convincing than what it's probably going to turn out to be. Would I be shocked if Fabian Marozsan pulled off an upset here? I don't think it probably would be that much of an upset anyway. I don't. Thomas Machac prior to that win against Jesper de Jong, and it was a bit, I don't know, a little bit ropey to say the least. 7-5 in the first. He dropped the second one 6-3 and then came back and won 6-3. Now I'd have said Thomas Machac is miles better than Jesper de Jong, but de Jong put in a decent fight there. You've got to give it to him. But same could be said for Fabian Marozsan. We did lean towards him first time out against Khachanov. I expected him to win that, but it was anything but easy. Safe to say, I expected both of these to win the first round. Maybe I kind of expected a little bit more, but maybe that doesn't mean anything. It's the result that matters. Once again, with what I said on the first match, you could probably say with this, I do think Thomas Machac just edges this one out, if anything, if he has to. I think he's got just a couple more tools in the bag as opposed to Fabian Marozsan, especially on quicker courts 1.8 I'm seeing here, 1.75, 1.8. Play it safe. Take him for a set. Do what you want. Entirely up to you. I do like Thomas Machac in that one though. Could be an over. We could be in for another 3 sets. Wouldn't be surprised, right? And then next 2 is going to be rather quick, and then we shall wrap this up and head on over into Queens. So we've got Lorenzo Sonego and Zverev. Good old Zverev. 1.14 for Zverev in this one. They've played each other 4 times before. Zverev has won every one. Sonego winning just the 1 set. That was in the United Cup last year. Tiebreaker 2 for those that care. But apart from that, Zverev beat him pretty much everywhere else. Monte Carlo on the clay, he beat him over in this exact tournament. In the exact same spot as well, round the 16. What are the odds of that? He beat Sonego last year over in Germany on the grass 6-4 and a tiebreak, rather close indeed. Gotta be Zverev, Vanny. I mean, I don't want to sound boring, I hate to be that guy, but I can't see Zverev losing this one. There's not a lot of meat on the bone, you know, in terms of if you want to bet it, but I can't see him losing. I wouldn't be surprised if he just smokes Sonego, but I do think Sonego's capable of covering that spread, whatever that spread may be. He's a massive dog. It's got to be 4.5, right? That spread's got to be 4.5. If it is, I'd say if you have to have a go on this one, you're probably going to look at that. Maybe a little over or something. I don't know. I'm not expecting him to win. And because I'm not expecting him to win, I couldn't tell you to take him in any shape or form. Thought Zverev looked decent against Marcus Garon. I expected nothing less. 6-2, 6-1. Absolutely fisted him. But Sonego looked alright against Struff as well. Looked more than alright. 6-3, 6-2. Happy days. He'll more than fancy himself to have a decent go against Zverev today. But I don't think he's going to win. I really don't. And with Zverev at 1.13 there, that's crazy odds. I don't think he's that trustworthy. Can't see an upset at all, even being honest with you. I can't. So you do with that what you will. And then we've got Jannik Sinner, Alexander Bublik. Same with this, 1.1 for Jannik Sinner. I've still got him on the outright. Still got him to win the entire tournament, so I'm obviously just going to sit on that for this match. It'll make it a little bit more interesting for me. Head to head is 4-1 to the Italian. Beat him in the French Open this year. Alexander Bublik did beat him in this tournament in the quarterfinals in 2023. Just food for thought. I think Sinner had to pull out of that one, 7-5 in the first, and then he had to pull out quarterfinals too. But Sinner did beat him on the grass the very same year over in Den Bosch. That's right. Don't even know why I'm bothering talking about it. If you want to take Bublik on the spread, that's probably your best bet, right? You just take him plus the points and just cross your fingers, close your eyes, and just hope he can win X amount of games. He's been playing good. Got to give him that. Sort of wrapped up his clay campaign with a nice little bow on top. Like I said, he played Jannik Sinner in the quarterfinals, and he didn't win a set. He 6-1, 7-5, and a bagel. There you have it. There you go. Somewhat picks itself, does it not? Of course it does. So we'll leave that where it is, and then we will head on over to Queens. And first off, you got Yuri Lehecka, Gabe Diallo. I'm looking forward to this one. I've said that about pretty much every match. Like I said at the start, we've got some absolute bangers in store for us today. Can't wait for them. Got Yuri Lehecka and Gabe Diallo. Never played each other before. Now, if this would have been last week, we probably would have been sitting here saying, you know what, Gabe Diallo probably beats him, you know. He probably beats him. No doubt, Yuri Lehecka has most definitely pulled himself out of that slump that he was in. But he's still just sort of teetering along, you know, win one, lose one, win two, lose one. He has went 3-1 on the grass. Fairly decent, better than most. Another one started off the season really well. Kind of tailed off towards the end of the hard court. coming over onto the clay 5-5. And then 3-1 on the grass. Gabe Diallo, someone who no longer needs any introduction, 6-0 on the grass this season. Obviously, just coming off that really decent run to the title over in Den Bosch. Fantastic, man. Fantastic. We only dropped the one set on the way to Jordan Thompson. And then you have to admit there may have been a couple of question marks surrounding the fitness and the gas tank of Gabe Diallo coming into Queens. He did go 3 sets with Billy Harris, but he did pull off the win in the end. Is there anything that this lad cannot do? Feels kind of wrong to go against him at this point, right? But I don't know. Lehecka did pull off the upset against de Minaur. I don't know, it doesn't really feel like an upset, does it? I know I've seen a lot of people pretty much sold, absolutely convinced de Minaur was going to just take that one easy as you like, 6-4, 6-2 for Lehecka. Say something about that. I did say, didn't I? Like, he's tough, man. When he plays his best, when he turns up, he's such a good player, man. Such a good player. And considering he ain't been in the best of form, and he has been a little bit patchy, he has been a lot better already as we've transitioned to the grass. And considering we've just said what we've said about Gabe Diallo, and there's no denying the form. No denying the form whatsoever. He's a dog in this one. 2.4. Why is that? Someone let me know your thoughts on that. Is fatigue going to be a factor? I hate to be that guy, but it does sort of kick in at some point, doesn't it? It does kick in. Or, I don't know, it's just... it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? It really is. There's no reason to go against Gabe Diallo other than you're sort of playing that game with yourself going, oh, will today be the day? Is he just going to be running on fumes a little bit? Is it not going to be enough? So I don't know, maybe that's enough for me to not get involved with this one. Lehecka 1.55, 1.6. Food for thought, folks. You let me know what we're doing with that one. And then we've got Jacob Fearnley and Corentin Moutet. Oh, big Moutet, hey. How about Corentin Moutet, folks? Anyone watch that match with Taylor Fritz? Some game, that. Some game. I kind of can't believe it. I can't. I sort of can. But I wouldn't have thought he was going to pull that off. Fantastic. Good shit from Corentin Moutet. If anyone knows Corentin Moutet, tell him what I want from him next weekend, Saturday or Sunday. It's entirely up to him. Taylor Fritz diss track, Apple Music, iTunes, all that shit. He needs to make it happen. Clip this, send it to him. How's he going to get on against Jacob Fearnley? He's had 3 long, tough battles. You know, he had to scrap his way through qualifying. Matteo Bellucci, Artur Rinderknech, 3 sets, the pair of them. And then obviously the one prior to the one we have now with Taylor Fritz. That was such a war. Such a good game. 2 tiebreakers and a 7-5. Doesn't get much longer than that, does it not? For Jacob Fearnley looked really good against Alex Bolt. Considering the form of Alex Bolt on the grass, Jacob Fearnley turned up and just smoked him. Just dusted him about. 6-2, 6-4. Very good, very good. Alex Bolt 6-3. Well, he is now 6-3. He was 6-2 on the grass prior to meeting Jacob Fearnley. These have played each other once before, last year, indoor hard court over in Sweden, 6-2 in the first tiebreaker, in the second to Jacob Fearnley. Get him around 1.6 on the decimal, give or take. I think he wins this one. I do. Probably sitting there going, wait, if Moutet's just beat Taylor Fritz like that, he's probably going to beat Jacob Fearnley, right? I don't know. That was a very, very taxing game that he's just played with Taylor Fritz, and I imagine the 2 in qualifying will begin to take a toll on top of that as well. I'll be going with Jacob Fearnley because I want him to win. Alright, fucking crucify me, come and nail me to the cross if you want, but I just want him to win. I hope he does. I know that he can. I probably won't be taking him. Don't know what the odds will be for him to win the one set. It may just be a little bit steep. But I'll be going with Jacob Fearnley on that. I would. I'm not picking it with a lot of conviction, but I'll definitely be rooting for him to get that one done. And then wrapping us up, well, not wrapping us up just yet, but we may as well be, because these will be rather short and sweet. We've got Carlos Alcaraz, Jami Munar, Alcaraz, every single day of the week. 1.02, not even gonna bother. Not even gonna bother. Head to head is 2-1 to Carlos Alcaraz. Munar's managed to sneak one in somewhere. That was in Marbella, of course it was. 2021, first time they played each other. I think a lot's changed since then. A lot has changed since 2021, more so for Carlos Alcaraz than his opponent. He has to win. He has to win. He cannot lose. That spread is 5.5, I think, 4.5, 5.5. I'm not too sure. I always say, don't I, big dogs equals big spreads, and you usually take them, especially in a best of 3. But there is just 1 or 2 exceptions to the fact. And that's Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. Jami Munar is like a 13-1, 14-1. Oh, he's all over the place. Massive dog. You know why. He's playing Alcaraz, goddammit. I don't think he stands a chance over on the grass. I'm fully expecting the Carlos Alcaraz to get past him there. 100%. Be surprised, even if he somewhat begins to struggle in that. And now we'll actually wrap it up with Opelka, Artur Rinderknech. Talk about saving the worst for last, right? Nah, it's alright. What are we going to get out of this one? Just a lot of first saves, I imagine. A lot of attempts on a first save anyway. I'm not expecting much for this. Very low expectations coming into this. And I imagine the expectations will remain low once all is said and done. Very Buddhist approach for this match with me, folks. Head to head is 1 apiece. Opelka beat him last time out, rather. And it was this year. Phoenix Challenger, hard court, only just 2-1. And then Artur Rinderknech beat him in straight sets in the Shanghai Masters last year. It's going to be a tight one. It's just going to be a shootout, isn't it? It's just going to be a shootout, serve fest, whatever you want to call it. I don't fancy having to pick a winner in this. I really don't. But what I will say is this, just food for thought. I know Opelka has been really good. The past few weeks he was solid in Den Bosch, ran into Zizou Bergs in the semis, and then he came up against Ugo Cobolli in the first round. Tiebreaker in the first, 6-4 in the second. A lot closer than what I expected. Artur Rinderknech got past Ben Shelton, man. I can't believe that. I mean, it's just, it weren't that bad of a loss, to be honest. It was a close game, 2 tiebreakers. I mean, what are you going to say about that? But does that mean Artur Rinderknech is technically top 10 caliber? So is it? No, I'm only joking. Surely fucking not. I don't know. You can beat Ben Shelton, you can probably take out Opelka, but I don't want to use the word fluke, but I did not expect him to do that. I thought Ben Shelton would have turned up and brought a little bit more to the match than what he did. But it doesn't matter anymore. You know, it's neither nor there. Take an over, take a tiebreaker, take some aces, take whatever the fuck you like. I'm going to be staying off this one. My head's starting to ache just even looking at this. It really is. Getting Opelka around 1.7. Very slight favourite. Either one for a set. There's multiple ways you could approach this one. But either way you go about it, just approach it with a bit of caution, yeah. Approach it with a bit of caution. Very well. Very well then. Another one in the bag, folks. Appreciate you stopping by. As always, means a lot to me. I'll be saying good night to you. Couple more night shifts. What? 3, have I? Yeah, tonight, tomorrow, Friday. I'll be alright. I'll get through them. I always do. Wish me the best of luck for that. And I'll wish you the best of luck with your bets, folks. Take it easy. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. That is the most important thing. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Jack Draper squad. We deserved that one today. We'll see how we get on. Well, we deserved it yesterday. We'll see how we get on with these ones today. Let me know what you're going for. Mine will be in the pinned comments if there's anything there. If it's pinned, it's pinned. If it's not, it's not. See you later, yeah. best of luck to you. Enjoy the matches today, and I shall see you tomorrow.